When getting started on YouTube, it's really difficult to know what equipment to use, what to get, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So if you want to know what I use for my videos and my setup, stick around and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, guys. So the first bit of equipment that I'm going to show you is the camera that I'm currently using, which is the Canon 750D, or the Rebel T6i for you guys in the States. I'm using it with the standard kit lens, the 18-55 kit lens, and find that overall it's a really versatile and great general lens for video recording and sort of general photography. The camera itself, I think, is a fantastic camera. It's really good for video recording and really good for photography. Even though it is a slightly older camera now, in my opinion, I still think it's one of the best cameras out there. And if you look around on places like eBay, you can pick one of these up now for anything from around about 300 plus. And you know, considering that they was around about 600 new, I think, you know, to pay around about 300 in good condition is pretty much a bargain. The camera itself, again, even though quite old, it comes with some really top features such as Wi-Fi. You can use a remote control with it. It still has the sort of infrared port, so you can use the Canon remote. You can remote control it via the app on your mobile phone. It can be controlled via remote from a PC and the Canon software. It records in full HD. It's pretty easy to use, as you've just seen. It has the sort of fold out screen as well, should you set it up and obviously want to view what you're recording as you're shooting. And it comes with a whole load of other great settings and adjustable features. The only one downside to this camera, I think, is you can't record at 60 frames per second at 1080. I think you can only record 60 FPS at 720, but to be fair, for most people that's not really going to be too much of a problem. So yeah, that's the camera. For sound, I've got two microphones. One of them is the Comica CVM V30 Lite, and the other is, which I can't show you because it's currently on the setup I'm using, is the Rode Video Mic Go, I think it is. Both of these mics are not battery operated. They don't require any additional power, so they're literally just sort of plug and play. Pretty much the same in regards to quality. The Comica comes in a little bit cheaper. I think you can pick one of these up on Amazon for around about the £40 kind of mark. But the one thing I would say is don't be fooled by that. You know, for the fact that this is £40 versus the Rode mic, which comes in at around about 50 or 60. In comparison tests that I've run, both of these mics are pretty much on par, and this Comica has stood up to the Rode in pretty much every test that I've done with it. The only one thing I would say for both microphones though is that it would be worth picking up, if you can, something like an extension arm or a boom pole, something similar to this, because when you do mount it just on top of the camera itself, as so, and you're using it, it's not the greatest of sound. It's not bad, and this goes against the same for the Rode mic. It's not bad, but what I have found is that the sound does vary a little bit on recording. So what I found to work out better is just get hold of one of these kind of boom extensions, just slap that on there, tighten it up, and then obviously try and fix this somewhere close to obviously to where you are, or where your sort of head is, for better sound really, and a more stable sound. That's just a suggestion. You don't need to do it, but I would definitely recommend you get one of these. If you do go down that route and choose to use one of the extensions, you will also need an extension to plug the microphone into. I've bought this one again off Amazon. As you can tell, I buy a lot from there, which is the Cable Direct Pro Series. It's a 4-pole 3-band extension, and it's really important that you do get the 4-pole 3-band, because this is for voice as well as audio. If you don't and you just get the sort of standard 2-band one, it's not going to work and you are just going to have sound problems. So make sure you pick up the one that is definitely 4-pole 3-band. These you can pick up for around about, I think I paid around about £7 for this on Amazon. I think it's the 2-meter version, and you know, with 2 meters for £7, you're going to have plenty of play with it. I generally put the boom on the end of here, wrap it round straight down into the camera, and it's pretty much problem free from there. Never had any issues with sound, always sounds pretty decent, no crackling or anything like that. So yeah, that's them sort of 3 pieces of equipment that I use for sound. The next I would say is a definite must, and that is getting a power adapter, an AC adapter for this camera. As standard, it only comes with the standard battery. By all means you can buy some additional batteries, but I would just recommend that you get hold of a power adapter. You can get the proper Canon one, which you buy as a sort of 2-piece set. You buy the coupler and then the actual power adapter. They're going to come in at around about £100 from Canon, somewhere around about that kind of price. Or you can pick up one of these, which is the Glow Rich AC Adapter AC E6. Fully compatible, comes with the exact same sort of DR E18 coupler that you get in the Canon kit, and this one's going to set you back around about £22 on Amazon. So big difference in price. The coupler itself is programmed to be exactly the same as the OEM Canon one, and goes in pretty much like for like. I haven't had no problems with this since using it, and I've had it for quite a while now. No problems with it not recognising it or anything like that. It literally fits in, goes in, the camera thinks it's an original Canon one, and it works pretty much problem free, and you don't have the hassle of having to keep recharging the battery and being limited by battery time. So that is a definite must. I would recommend that you get out of. The next items are not exactly essential, but they are nice to have, and the first one is the Canon remote. It's the RC6 remote. Again, pick one of these up on Amazon for around about sort of £7-8, and it really does make life a lot easier to have one of these, especially when you're sort of reshooting takes. If you're sort of a bit new to this, or even if you're not but you do find yourself reshooting all the time, a bit like me, then having one of these to hand really is useful. It just saves you having to keep sort of putting your hand around and touching the screen or touching the buttons to record on the camera. This is just a simple press to record, press to stop. So if you are sort of reshooting or retaking all the time, then that definitely makes life a whole lot easier. The next thing I would say would be your standard tripod. Obviously that's a little big for me to sort of put on screen, so I'll sort of tell you, I use the Niwa portable 70-inch full aluminium. Again, Amazon, probably looking at around about £40 I think I paid for it, something like that, but there are plenty of cheaper alternatives out there. One of the alternatives that I've found, and I've actually got hold of one, is a Hamer Star 700. Again, full aluminium, it's got a plastic head on it, but for, I think it comes in around, I think I paid about £23 for it, and for £23 the quality of it was outstanding. It's never broke, never had any problems. I just keep it now as a sort of secondary tripod should I have any issues with the Niwa, but to be fair, the Niwa one performs well. I haven't had any issues with that. But you know, you're talking about an aluminium tripod, how many things can really go wrong with it? So the next thing would be, again, not majorly essential, but definitely useful to have, and that is one of the sort of either the Joby GorillaPod or some kind of alternative to it, but basically some kind of flexible tripod. These make life really easy if you are fixing your camera in awkward positions or into places where you would find it, difficult to position the camera on an awkward angle, say. And they're great also as well if you're sort of filming and you can't really fit the large tripod in. One of these will just sort of open out into a regular sort of small tripod and be useful for that. But what you do find is that a lot of people, especially people who do a lot of vlogging, will sort of use one of these almost as like a handle. They'll generally sort of fix the camera onto the top and use it pretty much like a handle, which I found to be really useful as well. The only one thing I would say with these is if you are going to get one, try and get one with some kind of ball head on there. This one I bought just as the GorillaPod itself, which is pretty much just that unit, and then I bought the ball end, the Niwa aluminium ball end head with removable base separately. You can just buy the GorillaPod that comes with the ball end automatic. Just comes with it fitted as standard. But I just bought this one because I thought the ball end was a little bit better than the standard GorillaPod one. Again, you don't have to buy GorillaPod ones. These ones come in probably, I would say, for the two items, best part of about £50. If you was to go for an alternative, you could pick one up with a sort of full plastic body and a plastic ball end on for anywhere from around about £10–20 onwards. But if you want a decent one, then I definitely would recommend the sort of Joby. The only one thing again I would say is dependent on what equipment you're using. I use the Canon, as you say, and it's not heavy, but it's certainly not light. And this GorillaPod is rated for up to 3 kilograms. Just make sure that you pick up something that is going to be able to handle the weight of the camera. The one downside to these is if you are using them quite regular, as good as they may be from a quality point of view, they do wear and loosen up after time. So just bear that in mind. And if you've obviously got a sort of heavy camera on there or anything heavy, then it is going to sort of flex a little bit. The ball end being on there does help with making things like fine adjustments. So if you've positioned it or you've wrapped it round, I don't know, for example, a branch, then if you sort of need that little bit of a fine adjustment, then the ball end is great for that. But in general, it's just nice to have. Again, not essential, but definitely useful. So that's pretty much it for the sort of main equipment in regards to video and sound. From a lighting point of view, I think that the kit that I use is the Niwa video lighting kit, 18-inch ring light. Again, you can pick these up on Amazon for anywhere from about £50 upwards. Definitely useful if you're filming indoors or in a sort of in a room where you haven't got much natural light. Definitely useful to have. So there you go, guys, that's pretty much it from an equipment point of view. I've left some links in the description below if you're interested in getting any, and please feel free to check them out. So there you go, guys, that's my setup and the equipment that I use for making these videos. Hopefully it helps you out and give you a little bit of an idea on the kind of equipment that's out there available to you, and an idea on roughly what you need to sort of get started. In addition to this video, I am going to be producing another video which will be based on the best settings, or the settings that I use on this Canon 750D for making videos, and I'm also going to be doing another one based on post-production work, the editing software that I currently use, and that versus other softwares that are out there and available to you, so look out for them videos as well. Finally, I'd just like to know what you guys use for your videos, any recommendations that you might have, or anything that I've missed in this video. Please do leave it in the comments below. I'd really be interested to know what you guys are using. And other than that, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons and look out for the next ones coming soon. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.